Joe, Florida State's 0-3. And I got to say this, and I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to sound like a hot take. Joe, with stuff like what I'm about to say, I'm not more hot take-ish on this. It's more your realm. That's why you get clipped more on people's stuff than I do. But
you have hot takes too, man. Don't act like you don't have to have hot takes.
I think that how do I want to say this? No, I'm going to say it. I think that the worst coaching decision by any P4 head coach this season has been Mike Norvell keeping DJU in the game. The last 3 weeks, he's kept him in the game. How bad is Brock Glenn? And not even that. Here's what would make me more mad right now, and what would make me have like a fireable offense about Mike Norvell is I saw a video this week. I don't know all the context, so I can be wrong here. But from the outside, from a national outside looking in, and Florida State fans can help us here if this is wrong, I saw DJU at practice and people running behind him getting soaked down with water guns.
That looked really stupid.
That video is out there. So I will consider myself to be taken wrong if I am. You know what I'm not wrong about? When I came in here all off season and got housed by Florida State fans that DJU is not a good quarterback, and he's not. And not only are you continuously trying to throw the football with him, Joe, their leading running back rusher was Toafili with 4 rushes and 30 yards against Memphis. They're
just
trying
abysmal.
So hard to make DJU a thing, and it's losing you football games.
Well, so 2 thoughts on that. This is the really shitty world that we now live in with the transfer portal and NIL. They're not, and this is speculative, but I'd be willing to bet that they're not moving on from him and starting Brock Glenn, not because Brock Glenn's not good enough, but because of the fact that they're probably tied to some sort of a commitment to him financially, that they need to get their money's worth. There's probably some sort of an agreement that he has to start. I don't know what it is, but you can really tell that Mike Norvell screwed himself with this. I don't know where he has set himself up. I don't know the parameters of the situation, but that's what it feels like. You have to start Brock Glenn. Brock Glenn is a young, talented quarterback who might have some good things. DJU has been stagnant, and he is a 5th, 6th year, however many years he's been playing. He has been stagnant since his sophomore year of college. He has been around long enough for us to know he's not good. He's not good. And for anyone who wants to jump in the crowd of saying, like, don't be critical of the players, he's not good. He's 23 years old. It's time to move on. He's not a good football player. Let the young guy get onto the field. Bud Elliott brought this up on the Cover 3 podcast I was listening to this morning. That is going to screw you in recruiting, that you're unwilling to go to the guy that was in-house, that you recruited out of high school, and you're not willing to turn to him. High school recruits are going to get negative recruitment against FSU to bring up, this is going to happen to you. They're going to bring in somebody who stinks, and you're not going to get onto the field because they're tied to some sort of stupid commitment. You're just going to sit and wait, and then you're going to have to transfer. That's what coaches are going to say to him.
Yeah, look, man, I think it's a fireable offense.
He's not going to get fired, though, because of his...
I know he's not, but people playing at practice with water guns? Wait.
Okay, there's a reason for why they were doing that.
What?
I'm sure they were anticipating rain, and you do that. You spray guys with water guns to prepare them for ball security stuff. A lot of coaches do that. I don't want to ding them for that. A lot of coaches do that. I had a coach when I was playing... when we were warming up for punts and field goals, and we knew that there was a downpour coming.
You're a special teams guy.
They would hit us with a hose for the whole entire period. But they looks like they were chasing around receivers and running backs.
Bad look.
I know it looks goofy. I think you're
running around playing. That's the part that I'm making.
It was a coach chasing a guy for ball security stuff. That's what it was.
Okay, all right. Stop playing around. You're 0-3. You're losing to Memphis.
I think you're overreading that part.
I'm not overreading that because the product's on the field. And by the way, to your point that I want to get to, how bad is Brock Glenn? Brock Glenn better be the worst quarterback in the history of quarterbacks.
I hope he's great. I want him to get on the field next game. I think that four games or however many is it, 3 games is enough.
Well, Joe, I mean, here's another question. Why aren't they trying to run the football? DJU is not your answer. You had 37 rushing yards on Memphis. By the way, I'm just going to be honest with you. Joe, I'm looking at their schedule.
They might be 5-7.
5? Where's the 5 wins?
Here's a weird thought.
Where's the 5 wins?
I don't have the schedule in front of me off the top of my head, but you would hope that maybe you start Brock Glenn and everyone rallies around him and they scrap together 5. It feels like that year that Notre Dame was really bad under Brian Kelly, and nothing was good. Yeah, nothing was going right. It kind of just feels like that. But this is what's just so weird. I've never seen a team collapse this much. And it comes down to the portal stuff.
We were just talking about Kiffin and going to Florida. This is what happens when you don't recruit and develop well through high school.
If he tries to do the same exact thing this upcoming offseason, he's going to be on the hot seat. Like, seriously, he can't try to repeatedly approach the same thing over and over again after he saw the volatility of it.
Well, they're 2 for 12 on third down. Memphis is completes 4 fourth quarter third down conversions. They're 7 of 17. So 4 of them comes in the fourth quarter. Their defense is exhausted. They're playing their asses off. I thought Peyton Turner looked great, to be honest with you. Okay, I thought he looked fantastic. He hit the right tackle for Memphis on a sweet spin move and brings down a ball carrier. Joe, I just don't know. Like, every single thing in that game, Memphis outgained them. Memphis had more passing yards. They had more rushing yards. They were better on third down. Joe, they had the ball for 36 minutes in the game. The time of possession was 36 minutes, and you're 0-3. Like, man.
Insane.
Dude, I think missing the playoff broke them. I really do. I really feel like that staff, something's fractured in that culture, okay? Because, dude.
They're jinxed because of the guy wouldn't eat the shit in the cup. I know it's not an original joke, but it feels like there's exterior influences that we can't tangibly feel and see.
He
that are just dragging him down.
Felt that dog shit in his mouth if he would have.
They need to find that guy, and they need to force him to eat that dog shit.
But see, here's the weird thing, right? Boston College goes to Como, loses by 6 this week. That's not missed upon me. I don't know.
A really good Boston College team.
Joe, they should have won that football game. That's
Missouri's just really good. Missouri's
really good. But my point is that Boston College, they might be
they're what we thought Virginia Tech was. I think
might be.
That's going to be.
You're right. They might. That's a good way of putting it. They thought You're on the ropes on beating them. They're collapsing down the stretch, and you know what rises up when you're in close games in adversity? When you develop from within and culture. Can I trust the guy that's next to me? So they're playing to their opponent. Yeah. They're playing to the level of their opponent. Georgia Tech ain't that great. We found that out last week.
Okay, but I think that they're top half of the ACC, though.
They're fair. Okay, that's fair. But they're not. Joe, you're talking about Boston College that went on the road and lost by 6 to Mizzou, though. They're in that game. They're playing to the level of their opponent. There's no reason on God's green earth that Mike Norvell facing his past school, okay, should only have 12 points. 0.
The thing that keeps coming up to me is like,
well, then Anna, you can leave the show. If you don't like us, you can leave the fucking show.
Jeez. I think that what just gets so tricky for me with Florida State is what?
Talking to Anna about her frizzy ass hair. Continue.
I don't know for sure if this is Norvell is definitely the cause for some of their issues.
For a lot of their issues.
I would assume that because we saw how good of a coach he was last year and the year before that, that they're going to rebound. Like, I would hope that they do. It's just crazy how much of a drop off.
He's going to have to hit the portal again.
That's going to kill him.
They're not developing through high school enough. They're just not. Joe, their best defensive players, where they're mainly coming from. Say it.
They're all coming from the portal. This video is sponsored by the online fitness training camp presented by Chris Gates Fitness. When I first started talking about Chris, about partnering with our show, not only was I excited to have a fitness sponsor for our pod, but more importantly, when I found out about how he can help people achieve their goals, I was even more bought in, because when the football season starts, it is so tough to stay on top of things and also to be able to enjoy yourself on Saturdays when it's game day. With Chris Gates Fitness's online training camp, you're going to be able to effectively stay focused, consistent, burn fat, build muscle, and do it with a like-minded community of individuals working towards the same thing. On top of this, you're going to be able to get direct coaching from Chris and the ability to ask him questions with an access to a live Q&A where you can get direct personalized support from Chris himself. Don't wait any longer. If you're trying to get in shape during this fall and you want to be able to do it with the right support system, head on over to chrisgatesfitness.com/training camp or click the link in the description. And you need to do it today, because you can get the first month. Personal training is expensive, folks. The first month for only $10 when you use that code Ruffino Joe. Don't wait any longer. Head on over there. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions, with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.